How you doing, everybody? This is Max Farrow from Dex Fx Markets. In this segment, we're going to talk about how to isolate and find your stats on your DPC, your data processing center, as well as on your spreadsheet. As most of you know, that when you're taking these trades, you need to know which ones are firing off the best. But it has to be very super quick, I would suggest as you sit down and go through a session, you can kind of look together down below on the data processing center. You'll see a lifetime, a monthly, over the past 30 days, over the past 7 days, over the past 24 hours. So as you see these numbers starting to unfold, you'll get a better feeling of what the signals are doing. Again, the asset statistics pairs off the 7 pairs from Nadex for 5 minutes and breaks it down to what they've done in the past day. This gives you these little micro zones of success as news comes out, as overlying process happening. Like, has it been a good day? Or has it been a great week? Has it been a great month? I try to vibrate with 5 minutes within the week and the month area. If I'm making a decision between 2 pairs that have sort of the similar process, right? I look at, is there, because you don't want to take all 3, you just want to take 1, or maybe 2, but you still only want to take 1 that's successful. Now, also, look at avoidance. When do you avoid? If you have multiple signals, and see how like this USD CAD is in a buy, but the Great Britain Pound USD is also in a buy, even though that the quote pair of the USD is separate, this one of these should be a sell, right? So which one's wrong? Well, if the Great Britain Pound JPY, with the quote pair being a Great Britain Pound, is also a buy, that tells me that the USD is being kind of funky. Now, the USD CAD is what they call a commodity pair, which is usually based off a lot of oil and stuff that's up in Canada. So it has a huge influx that can be affected by that factor. So I kind of avoid that one when I can, especially on the smaller levels, especially if there's anything messed up like that. Now, I can also come down and isolate to see how well the USD CAD has done over the last 100 trades, and it's sitting at 94%. Not too bad. But let's just look at the other one, the Great Britain Pound USD, sitting at 93, so not so great. Or the Great Britain Pound JPY, sitting at 95. That one seems to be the best. Now, all this time that we've been sitting here doing this, that signal's been firing off. So how much is there really left now for us to be able to look at? Well, because there's so much market movement happening, there's really not a lot of opportunity here. Now, remember, during news, it could vibrate in, it could vibrate out. If we look at the charts and we go over the Great Britain Pound JPY, we could see that there was probably a mass, yep, there sure was. There's a mass amount of movement. So you probably got into this trade, maybe got into this trade, but definitely wouldn't be able to get into this one because it's too far. That signal is still valuable because it provides us this data that we have, right? Because you never know if the market's going to bounce back. So that's one way. There's a couple of ways. There's the one you can isolate to see where it's at. Always make sure you put it back to all. Okay, you can close that out. You can see the last 100 trades of the pair. Now remember, because that's the last 100 trades of the pair, not of the last 100 trades total of the system. You can come down and look at the 5-minute DPC under general specs of the last day, and you can see them isolated and variabled out by per each one on the day. And then you could see how well it's done specifically on a particular day, which you could actually go back and look at news and see how well the news is. Like, you give news a weight or what have you and say, okay, on that Thursday, or today's the 16th, today's the 17th, so yesterday was Monday. So on that Monday, everything seemed to be going really well. And you could start to see, what pairs did well at what days. So it's exciting. It's exciting to be able to use this data to be able to make a decision on what pair to be into. Okay, so that's basically how you use the DPC for the 5-minute system. I hope you enjoy it. It's been a long time coming. We finally made them. We've also made our ZDON bot system that's taking off here too. We're very excited about it. There's a link in the description as well if you want to have a look at that. I'm Max Farrell. This is DexFxMarkets.com. I look forward to seeing you next time. And as always, trade well.